Welcome back to Fluvoxamine Frontiers, Battling COVID 19, where we are uncovering the surprising role of fluvoxamine in the fight against a global pandemic. I'm your host, Dr. Soma Rohatgi, and I am joined once again by our brilliant guest, Saakshi Sharma. Today, we are diving into one of the most dangerous aspects of COVID 19, which is the cytokine storm, and how fluvoxamine might help to tame it. Let's break it down simply. Cytokines are like the body's fire alarms, signaling the immune system to fight infections. But in severe COVID 19, these alarms can go haywire, blaring so loudly that they cause panic and chaos, leading to a cytokine storm that damages tissues. Fluvoxamine, it turns out, might act like a skilled technician, adjusting the alarm's volume to restore calm and prevent destruction. How does it pull it off? Let's find off. Sakshi, let's start with the cures. How exactly does a cytokine storm harm COVID 19 patients, and why is it such a critical issue in severe cases?
Great analogy, Dr. Soma. The fire alarm image really nails it. A cytokine storm is essentially the immune system's going into overdrive. Cytokines are small proteins that act as messengers, rallying immune cells to fight infections like COVID 19. But in some patients, the virus triggers an excessive release of cytokine like interleukin 6 and TNF alpha, which causes widespread inflammation. This can damage vital organs such as lungs, heart, kidneys, like a fire spreading out of control. In severe COVID 19, the storm is linked to acute respiratory distress syndrome, or what we call as ARDS, where the lungs fill with fluid, hence making breathing difficult. Studies from 2020 showed that patients with cytokine storms were more likely to need ventilators or face organ failure, which is why it's critical driver of mortality in severe cases. It's not the virus alone, but the body's overreaction that often causes the most harm.
That's intense. An immune system that's trying to help but ends up causing havoc. As I understand, fluvoxamine is not an antiviral. So, how does its sigma 1 receptor activity tie into regulating this cytokine storm? What evidence supports this connection?
You're right. Fluvoxamine's role here is fascinating because it's not directly attacking the virus. The sigma 1 receptor, which fluvoxamine binds to, is like a control room inside cells, managing stress responses as well as inflammation. When activated, it can dial down the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines, essentially turning down the volume of that overzealous fire alarm. Mechanistic studies like those done at the University of Virginia in 2021 showed that fluvoxamine reduces cytokine levels in cell models exposed to inflammatory triggers. Clinically, the Together trial provided real-world evidence. Patients on fluvoxamine had lower rates of hospitalization, suggesting it was mitigating severe inflammatory outcomes. The sigma 1 receptor seems to stabilize the immune response, preventing the cascade that leads to a storm. It's like fluvoxamine is whispering to the immune system, "Take it easy, we have got this."
That's such a vivid picture. Fluvoxamine is the voice of reason in a chaotic immune response. Fluvoxamine's sigma 1 activity seems key, but could other SSRIs have similar effects on cytokine regulation, or is it fluvoxamine truly unique in this role?
That's the thought-provoking question, Dr. Soma. Fluvoxamine does stand out, but it's not entirely alone. Other SSRIs like fluoxetine and like fluoxetine and sertraline, also have some sigma-1 receptor affinity, but fluvoxamine's binding is stronger and more specific. This gives it a more pronounced anti-inflammatory effect. For example, lab studies have shown that fluvoxamine is more effective at reducing cytokine production in certain models compared to fluoxetine. That being said, fluoxetine has shown some promise in early COVID-19 studies, but the data is not as robust as fluvoxamine's party. That being said, fluoxetine has shown some promise in early COVID-19 studies, but the data is not as robust as fluvoxamine's, partly because of differences in pharmacokinetics, like fluvoxamine's longer half-life. The uniqueness comes from fluvoxamine's chemical structure and its ability to hit the sigma-1 receptor just right. However, researchers are still exploring whether other SSRIs could play a similar role, especially in combination therapies. But fluvoxamine's clinical evidence, like from the Together trial, puts it ahead of the pack for now.
So it seems like fluvoxamine is like the lead musician in this anti-inflammatory orchestra, while others playing supporting roles. Fluvoxamine is the calm conductor in an orchestra of chaos, guiding the immune system's wild symphony of cytokines into a harmonious melody, rather than a destructive crescendo. By fine tuning the body's response, it helps prevent the devastating storm that COVID 19 can unleash. Thank you so much, Saakshi, for illuminating how fluvoxamine tames the cytokine response. Listeners, join us next time for more discoveries in the fluvoxamine story. Stay curious, science is full of surprises waiting to be explored.